we're doing this week is we're going back into the jam and we're knocking off any overspray that might have bled through while we spray the stripes.
It looks good, man. Sick. It looks good.
Thank you, thank you.
Have the paint by the end of the day?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
So now that we got color and clear on all of our parts and all the car, we're just going back through and cutting and polishing. All right, and now we're gonna start reassembly of the van and start getting doors back on.
Barrett-Jackson Builds is back with more episodes. We're here to give you updates on all the projects we're working on here at the Barrett-Jackson headquarters. We restore all sorts of cars here. We build resto mods. We're restoring my first car right now, the van, and this 1936 Bugatti Type 57 Stelvio. I want to use the Bugatti as a rally car. So the main purpose of this restoration has been go through everything, reseal everything, check everything, go through all the bearings, the brakes, make sure it's a good, safe car, and try to minimize the oil leaks. So Terry has rebuilt the entire engine in our shop. The nice thing with this car is it had, back in the era, some nice updates done to it. It was switched over from cable brakes to hydraulic brakes. It got rid of the headlights and formed them in, so it was much more updated of a Bugatti, which will make it a great rally car, and that's why we're doing it. We're showing you these projects where they are right now, and there's more full build episodes coming your way.
Well, this was my first Bugatti transmission, especially for pre-war. It's a different transmission than a normal 4-speed because it's what's called a dog clutch transmission. There's no synchronizers and there are no sliding gears. It's just the gears mesh each other as they're positioned in there. And that makes it a little tricky to get it together. And there's also one very strange bearing on the back that takes up the thrust of the drive shaft, and those are no longer available. Haven't been for a few decades. So we had to get something that was fairly close and then machine the transmission to accept that bearing. Well, some of the tools that I needed I had to make because they're not available. I haven't been since the war. There wasn't anything really bad. Fortunately, ball bearings are still the same as they were back then. Same dimensions, same availability. So anything that was a conventional ball bearing was very easy to come by. The first thing was taking off the tail shaft housing that the thrust bearing in the back was destroyed, and there wasn't, the companion flange couldn't be tightened up because the bearing was bad, so it wasn't letting anything turn or locate properly, and that was causing a bad location of the drive shaft, which has rag joints instead of U-joints, and they're fairly critical for location. But it's fun to work on the old cars and revive them back to what they were back then, because they were pretty enjoyable to drive the way they were back in the day.
quick update, we just talked to Terry. Here's the rear end. We've already taken it apart. We've powder coated the trumpets on it. He set the gear lash in it, went through the bearings, so the rear end is done. The frame has been sent out powder coated. Being that we're not going for a Concours judging on this car, we figured powder coating would be the most durable for the long haul. But we can't put it, the body over here, we are going to start stripping the blue and the black paint off of it and block sanding it and getting it into primer. All the parts are out in the paint booth. They have been prepped, and yeah, we're moving along. Bought this car in Scottsdale, drove it around, figured out what it needed. You can see the contrast where all the nuts, bolts are CAD plated. So we're going through the whole car, and the goal is make sure everything works and lasts a long time. So I think you guys have made great progress on this. Yeah. So when I come back from vacation, it'll be a running chassis.
How long are you going for? We found out that the fuel gauge does not work. We don't know if it never worked from the start, never really tested that, so we kind of learned our lesson with that one.
Getting to see the car come off the truck, I was super excited. Well, let's see it in the sun.
Being here is insane. You know, everyone always talks about it, and my first time here, so didn't know really what to expect, but it's wild. It's been wild just seeing everything and being a part of it.